go long, but it should be pretty funny anyway. I'll try to keep it within the time. It's a poem about online dating. This is called the Reincarnation of J. Alfred Prufrock. Let us meet then, you and I, afraid to call it by its name, after online profiles and the emails we exchanged. Enter the tension we would exacerbate if we were to mention this is our first date. Let us go through the formality of asking how each other's day was okay like every other day, and you may have spent the last 3 hours deciding what to wear. You'll hope I'm witty and debonair, and I'll hope you won't notice I'm only an inch taller than you. Though we both know, based on my profile, I should be taller by 2. The women search above their heads and declare the good ones must all be dead. Tell the waitress what we'll have to drink. Why must I be the first to choose? I'd rather just have water, but I'd rather you have booze. Not that I would prey upon your judgment when it's hindered, but maybe in that state, I won't seem as awkward. We discuss our careers like standing on a diving board, hoping it's not too shallow to the bottom, reluctant to get wet at all. We're not interested in diving, we simply want to fall. And there will be time to backstroke through our anecdotes and submerge ourselves in our aspirations. There will be time to tread lightly when discussing our faith, and time to list off our siblings and parents' occupations. There will be plenty of time to try to find some common ground in our political persuasions. I'll try to sound smart and I'll come off as condescending. I'll try to make a joke and I'll end up offending. Just when I'm sure of exactly what to say, I'll get distracted by the waitress arriving with our entrees. The women bring the diplomats to bed and declare the good ones must all be dead. So where were we in our exchange? I was wondering about the town you grew up in. No, that's not really what I was wondering, but do I dare? Do I dare to catapult myself over the gates of etiquette? The question, our most urgent question, has never been explicit. You would say, I'm not comfortable answering your query, and that you would even bring it up has made me leery, and therefore, I don't think we should meet again. But I wish you good fortune. I'm sure you'll find someone. And I would say, I'm not so certain, because I've heard that before, and the tally has ballooned. So how can you presume? For I am acquainted. I've been introduced to you all. I met the ones with beauty that paralyzes my tongue, so stunning I was wondering whether I was dreaming. I met the ones where I felt an intellectual connection, and believed as companions we would find our meaning. I've met the ones who seemed unabashedly enthralled, but then I reconsidered because they didn't return my calls. I have met you all, and the outcome has repeated. On paper, there's potential, but your eyes refuse to read it. The eyes that acknowledge a handsome visage and slowly lose their fascination. The eyes that are resigned to the next one in line since I didn't meet their expectations. The eyes that are skeptics, that I could be remotely romantic and write me off as a robot in a costume. Though in reality, I'd make it my priority to make you swoon, so how can you presume? Mostly, I have met the fist in the gut that I've been rejected. If I think we connected, I know I'll soon be corrected. Am I supposed to say, your lack of affinity will expire eventually? You just have to get used to my eccentricities. But once you do, I know you'll love me. Well, I can't guarantee. But you ought to love me because I would love you with honor and intensity. This helplessness to successfully cajole has led me to improve upon what's within my control. There's a reason I'm in the gym nightly, gripping my dumbbells and frustrations tightly. And there's a reason for all the bran flakes and broccoli, the black beans, the red grapes, and the green tea. You see, it's all about prolonging my longevity. So somewhere in there I can find my devotion, someone to join me in vitality's erosion. And isn't that the question we're not allowed to raise? Will we be together through the end of our days? Will I show our children my favorite cartoons? Will you talk me into new furniture for the living room? Will you know me so well that my thoughts are exhumed, and we can laugh about the time you almost presumed? I've got a few gray hairs and my libido's diminished. If I'm lucky, I'm only a third of the way finished. And even then, that's just a handful of decades to conceive a masterpiece and bask in the accolades. But my true glory should be in ingenious intimacy. Don't you want to be part of that greatness? Wouldn't it be worth it to have a little patience? Your kind has been too quick to discard the ones for whom you don't feel sparks, for which you have no definition. No, I'm not pyrotechnics, nor was I meant to be. And you've been burned by the ones who ignited. So wouldn't it behoove you to not be so short-sighted? Wouldn't it be worth it to assess me analytically? I'm well-mannered, sympathetic, reasonably athletic with aesthetic appeal. I make enough to support myself, and I insist on paying for this meal. I can't regale you with the places I've traveled, but I've been a million miles in my head. And from the war zones to the paradises, contrasting with the monotone desolation of a teenager in his basement, trying to escape his limitations. Sorry, I know I ought to keep this light, but I'm not pyrotechnics. And when it comes to endearing myself, I guess I'm not that bright. I'm just a man of logic, zeal, and stubborn ideals, but more and more, I'm willing to compromise. You're not perfect, and neither am I, but perhaps together we can try to get so close that we feel we arrived, and we'll know that answer for the rest of our lives. But if you're not the one, there will be time for more opportunities. And there will be time to search anew through the online dating community. And there will be time to swear you're all the same and curse you with impunity. But time for tonight is winding down as you remark on how you should get going. I'll walk you to your car and you'll allow me a modest embrace. You'll say you had fun, and I'll hope that's the case. But most likely, this is the last time I'll see your face.